he just turned around और उन्होंने मुझे बोला emotional. लड़कियों के पास एक ही टॉपिक होता है. Why am I even talking to a girl about crime? Like लड़कियों के साथ क्राइम के बारे में बात ही नहीं करना चाहिए. I'll talk to him.
मिली, बावर्ची, कोशिश, इस तरह की फिल्में जो है वो अनुश्री दोबारा बनाने का सोच रही हैं. बहुत बड़ा हर्क्यूलियन टास्क है ये.
It is.
Radio Nasha presents Extraordi Naari.
91.9 FM रेडियो नशा सुन रहे हैं आप. मैं हूँ रंगीली रुचि आपके साथ. एंड आई फील कि मैं इतनी लकी हूँ कि मेरी जर्नी में, चाहे वो प्रोफेशनली हो या पर्सनली हो, मेरी जिंदगी में आई हैव हैड द अपॉर्चुनिटी टू मीट सो मेनी एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरीज. और आज एक ऐसी ही एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी मेरे साथ में, मेरे शो में, मेरे स्टूडियो में आई हुई है. आई हैव अ वेरी पॉपुलर डायरेक्टर, प्रोड्यूसर, फिल्म मेकर and a friend of decades, Anushree Mehta on the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm just so happy to see you.
Same here. And I must say कि ये decades पुरानी दोस्ती है, लेकिन हम decades से actually मिले नहीं हैं. So this is like a मिलाप also, which is happening हम दोनों के लिए. लेकिन इतने सालों से Anushree, I've been following all the work, the beautiful, amazing work जो आप कर रही हैं, especially as an extraordinary. आप नारियों के आसपास जो फिल्में बना रही हैं based on women, it is so good. So hats off to you, hats off to the choices that you've made. It makes me, not just as a friend, yeah, as a radio jockey, as a media personality, so happy, but also एक नारी होने के नाते, you know, being a woman, I am so happy कि there are so many people जो कि आपको देख करके inspire हो रहे हैं and they look up to you.
I hope so.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. But you know, you said such wonderful things about me, but you are as wonderful and as amazing. I mean, you know, ordinary. What did you say? Extraordinary. Sorry. Like, yeah, I think all women are extraordinary.
Yeah.
But as women achievers and people who can inspire, I think your voice is so much louder. You've been around for so long. Your journey has been so amazing. I mean, you know, like you said, we haven't met, but we followed each other's work.
लेकिन you know what, हमारी जो दोस्ती है, it's like a very beautiful example of women standing up for women and women being there for women. क्योंकि जैसा हमने कहा कि हम शायद मिलते नहीं आए या बात नहीं करते आए, लेकिन फिर भी कहीं वहाँ पर इंस्टाग्राम पर या व्हाट्सएप पे या किसी स्टोरी को देख करके एक वो ताली वाला इमोजी जरूर बजा देते थे. And I think that is what makes a Naari extraordinary. जब you know वो कहते हैं ना कि you should have the power to adjust somebody else's crown. आप दूसरे की खामियों को कब ठीक कर देते हैं वो सामने वाले इंसान को भी पता ना चले, और दूसरों की खूबियों को आप दुनिया भर को बताते हैं, हर इंसान को पता चले. That's what makes a Naari extraordinary. आप बताइए, आपके हिसाब से आप एक extraordinary क्यों हैं, अनुश्री?
I think the only fact that I'm a woman and I'm raised by an extraordinarily amazing woman, I think that's the primary reason of me being extraordinary, because the way I'm raised. Also, I'm the first daughter in 5 generations in my family, on my dad's side.
Achha.
So I was raised very, very differently from, you know, my peers at the time, and even now. So for me, the relatability of, you know, the regular popular thinking and upbringing has always been very, very different. So, you know, I was extraordinarily celebrated. Like, my father walked to Siddhivinayak temple every Tuesday when he knew that my mom was expecting, asking for a daughter.
Oh, wow.
You know?
That makes my heart so happy.
Yeah. And then they taught me to, you know, be my own person and to be financially independent and to have a dream. Both my parents taught me to have a dream. They taught me to read, to open up, you know, a totally new life. And there was always a movie watching culture at home. So it was always about dreaming, about becoming somebody, about having wings to fly. You know, they taught me that I could be anybody that I wanted. And they also always said that no matter who your father is, no matter who your brother is, or no matter who somebody you marry or date is, who you are and how you make your life and identity is what is going to be your entire life.
हमारी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में इवन दो हमारे पास में थैंकफुली काफ़ी हैं फीमेल डायरेक्टर्स एंड फिल्म मेकर्स, लेकिन फिर भी अगर मैं वो उन फीमेल डायरेक्टर्स की बात करूं जो कि सक्सेस देख पाए हैं, तो शायद मैं उंगलियों पे ही गिन सकती हूँ अभी भी। और एक ऐसे मेल डोमिनेटेड इंडस्ट्री में आपका एक डायरेक्टर होना और आपका अब इतनी बड़ी फिल्मों पर काम करना, क्या कभी आपको ऐसा लगता है कि एक एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी होने के बावजूद भी थोड़ा सा स्ट्रगल ज्यादा है, थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट ज्यादा है?
स्ट्रगल तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा है. लाइक इट इज़ एब्सोल्युटली लाइक यू सेड, इट इज़ मेल डोमिनेटेड एंड आई थिंक मुझे ऐसा लगता है हमेशा कि जो पेट्रियार्की है ना, वो हर इंडस्ट्री में एक तो है, लेकिन एवरी वॉक ऑफ लाइफ में भी है, लेकिन उसको प्रोपोगेट करने वाली औरतें ही ज़्यादा है, यू नो. क्योंकि इवेंचुअली क्या होता है कि व्हेन मेन कम टू नो कि आप हार्ड वर्किंग हैं, आप अपने सपने को पाके रहेंगे, आप उसके लिए आपके अंदर टैलेंट है, यू विल पुट इन ऑल दैट अमाउंट ऑफ वर्क, तो एक टाइम के बाद ना वो आपकी रिस्पेक्ट करने लग जाते हैं, मैक्सिमम और मोस्ट ऑफ देम. बट विमेन का थोड़ा सा एटीट्यूड अलग होता है, और इसीलिए शायद celebrating Women's Day is a good thing, but why do women need just one day? Every day is a woman's day.
Yeah.
Like men don't need a day to celebrate, right? So that amount of sisterhood somewhere I find missing. I think in every walk of life, it's not just in my industry, but because ये इतने सालों से इतनी male dominated industry रही, and women behind camera इतनी कम पहले भी थी, आज भी इतनी कम है, but I will say that उसकी तादाद अब बढ़ रही है. We are going towards that silver lining that one always wanted, कि ये women behind camera बहुत सारी होनी चाहिए, because I write, I direct, I produce, मैं तीनों काम करती हूँ, तो मुझे पता है कि मेरे साथ बहुत सारे instances हुए हैं जब I have been told to my face कि तुम लड़की हो, how are you going to do this, or why am I even talking to you, मैं इस सब्जेक्ट पे एक लड़की के साथ बात भी क्यों कर रहा हूँ.
Oh my God.
I started my film career I was a television writer when I started out, like in my early 20s. So I used to write a few crime shows on TV at the point, और वो एपिसोडिक होते थे, तो अलग अलग राइटर्स लिखते थे. तो एक प्रोड्यूसर थे, उनके साथ मैं मेरे बिजनेस पार्टनर है जिनके साथ मेरी कंपनी है जादूगर फिल्म्स. His name is Abir Sen Gupta, and he and I used to be co-writers back then. तो हम उनके साथ एक क्राइम एपिसोड डिस्कस कर रहे थे और कुछ सीरियल किलर के बारे में था. तो आई सेड दैट most of these psychotic crimes come out of deep seated emotional traumas that people go through, और फिर उनका कुछ स्विच हो जाता है, इसलिए वो क्रिमिनल बन जाते हैं. तो he just turned around और उन्होंने मुझे बोला, इमोशनल, लड़कियों के पास एक ही टॉपिक होता है, why am I even talking to a girl about crime? Like लड़कियों के साथ क्राइम के बारे में बात ही नहीं करना चाहिए. I'll talk to him.
Yeah, generalizing also, this one thing.
And I went quiet because firstly my facts were right. Secondly, I have read crime all my life. And thirdly, it was just so wrong.
Yeah.
And then he saw my face, क्योंकि मेरी शक्ल पे तुरंत दिख जाता है, मेरी आंखें बड़ी हो जाती है, तो मैं बोला नहीं मैंने उन्हें कुछ, लेकिन he turned around and he told me, then he sensed that there was a problem. तो उन्होंने मुझे देखा, बोला, oh you're so pretty, आप इसमें एक्टिंग क्यों नहीं कर लेते? I said, that's it.
God.
That's it. I've had it.
ये तो और लिमिट पार हो गया.
Yes. I said, one second. First of all, I'm not interested in acting. Second of all, do not ever tell another woman कि उसे क्राइम के बारे में नहीं पता, because
किसी भी चीज के बारे में, अगर टॉपिक के बारे में नहीं भी पता है तो पता किया जा सकता है, क्योंकि सेरेब्रल अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिली नहीं है औरतों को अभी तक. तो हो सकता है किसी चीज में पीछे रह गए हो, बट दैट डजंट मीन कि हम हमेशा पीछे रह गए.
Exactly. And the fact कि till date in history the greatest crime writer has been a woman, and her name is Agatha Christie.
Wow.
So
happy.
So then he didn't know where to look, and then it was, but it stayed with me. It's been 14 years maybe since this happened. But these people don't realize how it affects us and how deeply, like even when I was directing Mrs. Undercover, it was so hard for people to accept that a woman is going to helm the film. Also because I don't belong to a film family.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not with an influential person, or I do not have like a mentor in the industry. Like I have started ground up. So at every step I was reminded that तुम लड़की हो, तुम ये कैसे करोगी. Also I am the sole earning member of my family for 19 years now. तो you know that as an added thing. And also मैं बड़ी सिद्धांतवादी हूँ, तो मेरे साथ कोई बिल्कुल भी बाउंड्री क्रॉस नहीं कर सकता बात करते वक्त.
राजेश खन्ना जी की वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट फिल्म्स बावर्ची का रीमेक आज की तारीख में बन रहा है एंड अनुश्री मेहता इज गेटिंग इट फॉर अस. दैट इज व्हाई ऑफ कोर्स ये हमारी एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी है, बट इट इज लाइक अ ह्यूज टास्क. कैसे आप, हाउ आर यू डीलिंग विद इट? शुरुआत से बताइए मुझे, कैसे हुआ ये सब कुछ?
Actually, because I'm also a producer, and Abir और मैं, I think we were discussing, you know, making multiple movies at the same time. And then somehow Sameer reached out to Abir, and you know, we'd met somewhere, Sameer Raj Sippy, and we were talking of doing something together. और उसी दिन हम लोग बात कर रहे थे कि you know, we should grow and we should probably make multiple movies at the same time, एक film ना करके, as a production company. तो and उसी दिन I think Sameer का message आया था Abir को, and then a couple of days later we met and we were wanting to do something, and then हमने collectively decide किया that let's produce 3 iconic films and get the stories back, make them for the generation that you know does not relate to that time, you know, क्योंकि हर बार ज़माना बदलता है, सोच बदलती है, कहानियाँ वही रहती हैं, you know. तो we thought that we should be able to retell these stories.
मिली बावर्ची कोशिश, इस तरह की फिल्में जो है वो अनुश्री दोबारा बनाने का सोच रही हैं. बहुत बड़ा हर्क्यूलियन टास्क है ये.
It is.
Yeah.
तो इसमें then हम लोग बात कर रहे थे क्योंकि we announced the 3 films, और you know कि हम ये कर रहे हैं, produce तो कर रहे हैं. And then हमने सोचा कि maybe we should start making बावर्ची first. ऐसे होता नहीं है कि आप सोचो कि ये वाली पिक्चर पहले हो जाए, क्योंकि बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स होते हैं, एक्टर डेट्स होते हैं, लॉजिस्टिक्स होते हैं, बहुत कुछ फैक्टर्स होते हैं. बट वी स्टार्टेड डिस्कसिंग अबाउट बावर्ची फर्स्ट, एंड आई रिमेंबर ऐसे साइमल्टेनियसली आबिर और समीर ने बोला कि व्हाई डोंट यू डू इट लाइक इन डिफरेंट वर्ड्स, कि तुम क्यों नहीं करती हो, लिखो इसको, डायरेक्ट करो. And I was just looking at them and say wide-eyed. I was like, are you guys serious? Like, and they were like, we are serious. What is wrong with you? You made Mrs. Undercover. इतने दिल से बनाती हो तुम picture. And मैं अपनी movie से obsessed हूँ. Like, I love my movies so much. Till date, I'm obsessed with Mrs. Undercover.
Yeah.
So, मैं बहुत ही ज़्यादा प्यार करती हूँ, you know, movies से, और अपनी movie से तो और ज़्यादा. So they thought that, you know, I would probably be the right person to make it within the mix. And so obviously, like, it was a dream come true for me. So मैंने कहा, of course I will do it. And then I went through this whole gamut of emotions of, you know, writing the film, because eventually the foundation of any film is its script, you know. So while trying to modernize it, not modernize it, but tell it to the modern audiences, make it relatable, I wanted to keep the soul alive, because, you know, we love these movies essentially for the soul that the filmmaker has put into these movies. And उसी से हमें ये पिक्चरें याद है, like we must have seen them while growing up.
Yeah.
You know, our parents must have said, अरे ये पता है मेरे बचपन में आई थी और बहुत अच्छी पिक्चर है, या मेरे टीन्स में आई थी, बहुत अच्छी पिक्चर है, तुम देखो. Like, I remember watching it like that, and then of course rewatching it later. But it is such an iconic film. And essentially मैंने बड़े सारे इंटरव्यूज किए, ये अभी अनाउंसमेंट आया तो मुझे सब डरा रहे हैं कि तुम्हें डर नहीं लग रहा, तुम्हें, लेकिन I'm just like, you know, more than me feeling it, you all are feeling it, because I'm so much in love with telling a story, with making a movie, कि आप या तो प्यार कर सकते हो, पिक्चर बना सकते हो, या डर सकते हो, दोनों एक साथ नहीं हो सकता. But one always recognizes and acknowledges the responsibility that comes with it. That yes, there has been a mammoth before, and you know, I'm attempting that. but that does not mean that, I will succumb to the pressure or
Yeah.
start feeling scared. I have to love it even more, and be even more excited. Everybody is anyway going to judge an original or a remake, and Bawarchi is already a remake of a Bengali film. So it's been going on, and I think I'm carrying the baton like that, क्योंकि Bengali film Golpo Hole Shoti, and then Bawarchi, and then now again, so I think we are taking it forward like that.
लेकिन एक्चुअली जो आप कह रहे थे कि यू आर मेकिंग द सेम स्टोरी लेकिन एक मॉडर्न ऑडियंस के लिए, लेकिन ये मॉडर्न ऑडियंस कुछ ज्यादा ही मॉडर्न हो गई है, एंड देयर आर न्यू वर्ड्स लाइक सिचुएशनशिप एंड बेंचिंग एंड लाइक देयर आर डिफरेंट ways that people have started loving and started understanding what love is. लेकिन बावर्ची का जो प्यार था, आपको क्या लगता है कि आज की तारीख में जो जेन जी है या जेन अल्फा है अब, वो इस तरह के प्यार को समझ पाएंगे?
I think, see, love is something, वो किसी भी चीज के लिए हो, love is something that comes most naturally to us, even when we are in the womb of our mothers. Love is the most natural thing that we have learned, essentially. But ये modernization को वेस्टर्नाइजेशन बना के जो हम लोग कंफ्यूजन में इस वक्त ये सारा सब कुछ चल रहा है, उसमें my idea is to propagate love, firstly for your family, for yourself, for your friendships, for various relationships. Honestly, मुझे ये situationship and I don't even know what benching honestly is, and मुझे ये सब नहीं पता. I'm a very old school girl like that, but मुझे सिर्फ इतना पता है that people just need to be reminded of love.
Yeah.
On a larger macro idea. I'm not talking about a girlfriend boyfriend वाला प्यार या पति पत्नी वाला, मैं सिर्फ प्यार के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ. People have somewhere forgotten to love, but love exists within all of us. It is, we're born with it. It's the most natural thing. But because it's also a verb, we've forgotten to, give it. And also because it's a chain effect, we are not receiving it in the most natural manner. So I think मेरे पास एज अ फिल्म मेकर ये जरिया है मेरा मैसेज देने का, फिल्म मेकिंग टू द सोसाइटी, which I did with my first film also, and I want to continue to do that with all of my movies, where I want to propagate the idea of goodness, probably, that you can believe in goodness. आजकल हम किसी से अच्छे से बात करते हैं, हमसे कोई अच्छे से बात कर लेता है तो ये अच्छे से बात क्यों कर रहे हैं,
शक होने लगता है हमें.
why are we doubting goodness? Whereas when somebody is nasty to us, कोई बुरा बर्ताव करता है तो हमें वो बहुत familiar feeling लगती है,
नेचुरल लगता है.
हाँ, as opposed to कोई अगर अच्छे से behave कर रहा है, कोई हमें compliment दे रहा है, तो हमें लगता है कि ये मेरी तारीफ क्यों कर रहा है.
यार ये इतनी ना गहरी बात कह दी है सच में, और ये एक ऐसी चीज है जिसके बारे में हम शायद सोचते नहीं है कि हम बुराई को क्वेश्चन नहीं करते बिकॉज इट जस्ट फील्स सो नेचुरल नाउ, एंड अच्छाई को हम सवाल उठाते हैं, क्वेश्चन करते हैं बिकॉज लगता है कि यार कोई अच्छा हो नहीं सकता है क्या. क्या बात है यार, मतलब ये दिल छूने वाली बात. और एक सेंटेंस निकला है हमारी एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी से आज, वो ये भी है कि modernization does not necessarily mean westernization.
Exactly.
I am going to keep that with me for a while now, that this holds so much value and importance. Modern बनो ना, लेकिन फिर भी हमारा कल्चर, हमारा ट्रेडिशन, हमारा प्यार,
Absolutely.
वो तो जिंदा रहना ही चाहिए.
Absolutely.
We were also talking about Mrs. Undercover बीच में. There was this scene ना, जो कि ट्रेलर में भी था एक्चुअली, जहाँ पर वो बैकलाइट आती है and you see just her silhouette. And she's looking like that, powerful thing. I can imagine you like that. So I think, वो आप थे ये दिखाते हुए कि आप में कितना पावर है. आप मुझे बताइए कि इस इंडस्ट्री में, पर्सनली एंड प्रोफेशनली दोनों, so इंडस्ट्री में और आपकी जिंदगी में, निजी जिंदगी में, कौन वो औरतें रही हैं, एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी आपकी जिंदगी की कौन रही हैं जिसने आपको हमेशा सपोर्ट किया?
Firstly, तो definitely my mother. I mean, उनको ही सेलिब्रेट करते हुए I made Mrs. Undercover because
अच्छा.
it was a tribute to her because she's been a homemaker all her life. और वो बहुत छोटी थी when she had me. She was all of 24.
Okay.
I mean, it's a very, very young age. Now when I look at it, I mean, at least through my life.
Yeah.
So we both almost grew up together.
Yeah.
Like we're more
Beautiful.
like friends.
Yeah.
And I've seen her go through a lot in life, and still unke pyar mein her love has always been so pure and so unending that no matter what was happening in her life, you know, she gave me enough and more to have hope, to be able to become the woman that I wanted to become. So it has been her force with me throughout. So अगर लोग सही कहते हैं कि अगर because God can't be everywhere, he made mother, and it stands true, you know, very firmly stands true. It is her, and I've had inspiration of a lot of amazing women. My great grandmothers, both of them on both sides. I mean, if I tell you about them, you'll be stunned that in their time they did the kind of work that they did. Both my grandmothers, my nani and my dadi, stunningly amazing, strong women. They taught me some radical things that उनके time पे ऐसी बात करना या ऐसे conversation करना या ऐसी सोच रखना, it's very unheard of. Within the industry, I think I haven't had a chance of interacting with very many women on that level who are, you know, very supportive just generally, or being very celebratory about you. But in my journey, I did meet Radhika Apte.
Yeah.
And it was my first film. And I went to her house to narrate the film to her. I had not met her before, did not know her. Her manager made Abir and me meet her. And, you know, she just met me, and मैंने 5 मिनट नरेट किया होगा उनको, सिर्फ 5 minutes, like 5 मिनट में मैं क्या नरेट कर पाई उनको. ए अनुश्री, आई एम डूइंग योर फिल्म. हाँ, आगे क्या होता है?
अच्छा.
Yeah. And I was like, what just happened? But I think her hook point was when, you know, in my narration I said, वो बोलती कि मेरे बेटे की यूनिट टेस्ट है, मैं नहीं करती है. मतलब it's my son's unit test, उससे ज़्यादा important क्या हो सकता है? तो I think, but in that time, I think I realized later in retrospect that she also saw this girl who was really trying to do something in life. It was not easy to try to put up my own film and say, I'm going to be a director. You've decided it, but you need 120 more people with you to accept that, acknowledge that, and walk with you. And trust me, it is not easy. Like, I've cried rivers and, you know, banged my head 20 times and been very happy, lucky, all of that. It's been a gamut, but it's definitely not been easy. So she kind of, I don't know, she saw something at the point, and from that point on, she's been nothing but supportive. You know, on set also, there were so many times when people used to say, order sir, even after 15 days, 20 days of shoot. How long will it take you to realize that it's a woman's set?
Yeah.
Say order ma'am, or just don't say anything at all. You know? So she didn't have to be supportive, but she was. Even when people work for you, you need their support, you know, because it's not a very 9-to-5 job with hierarchy that it, you know, you have certain job profiles and then you don't step beyond that, and that's okay. People have to extend themselves all the time. So there's a beautiful young lady who works for me, Utkarsha. She's the supervising producer of my company. She's been very supportive over 10 years, you know, working together. Couple of friends here and there, but I've always had more men supporting me than women. So,
but that's okay, you know, अगर हर आदमी के पीछे, सक्सेस के पीछे एक औरत का हाथ है, तो हर औरत के पीछे भी अगर आदमी का हाथ हो तो उसमें कोई भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. And we are so happy that that change has finally happened. ये बताइए मुझे कि ये जो बावर्ची फिल्म जिसको अभी हम लेकर के इतना एक्साइटेड हो रहे हैं, इसकी कास्ट वास्ट हो गई है क्या डिसाइड? एंड कैन यू लाइक स्पिल लाइक a few beans here and there
I
for
like
us?
the way you're so cute, but no.
ऐसा नहीं हो सकता यार, please.
Because we are at such a point that, you know, we have reached somewhere, but we can't talk about it because, you know, things have to get formalized and all of that.
But ऐसे मतलब जाने माने सितारे देखने वाले हम या कुछ न्यू कमर्स देखने वाले हैं हम इसमें, इतना तो बताओ.
आप जो भी देखोगे is going to be magic. Is what I can tell you. And I'm having, you know, a very, very exciting journey while I cast for the film. Because now the characters are not as unidimensional or simple as they were before.
Yeah.
You know, because our films earlier were much more simpler, but we've gotten a lot more complicated in time. And there's a very beautiful dialogue that Gulzar Saab has written in Bawarchi, which stands true for all of us. That it is very simple to be happy, but it's so difficult to be simple. You know, and that stands true for our lives today, all of us, in whatever walk of life. We've complicated ourselves, and that is why we are more layered, or probably people always were. They're just realizing that a lot more because we are also self-aware a lot now. So, you know, to be synonymous or to be more relatable to all those layers that we all have, I need to have actors who will do justice to the layers that I've written.
And of course, justice to the level जिसपे राजेश खन्ना जी या
Oh yeah.
जया जी या अमिताभ बच्चन सभी लोग पूरी की पूरी कास्ट जो लेकर के गई है इन फिल्मों को, I am sure you know ये कास्ट को डिसाइड करना भी, casting must have been really difficult.
Yeah, it is, and also like you know, जैसे हमें लगता है कि अच्छा आप इन एक्टर के पास गए, उन्हें अच्छा लगा नहीं लगा, वो प्रोसेस ऐसा नहीं होता है. लाइक यू नो समडे व्हेन मैं बहुत ऐसे पावरफुल फिल्म मेकर बन जाऊंगी, उस दिन मैं आई विल talk about the process, because it in itself is a process of a lifetime. Casting one film, abhi right now we are talking about an iconic film, but casting for any film is supremely difficult. आपने एक फिल्म, दो फिल्म, चार फिल्म जो भी बनाया हो, you know, वो उसमें like there are so many different things that entail casting of a film. इसीलिए it's hard to talk about casting while you're in the process, and when everything is on paper, black and white, and then when you mutually decide to make an announcement is when you talk about it, because it's extremely volatile. It can change at any point, and yeah, so you know, it's a bit of a shaky ground for every filmmaker.
अभी हमें ये अनाउंसमेंट मिला था कि आप ये फिल्में बना रही हैं. अब हम एक्चुअली काफी एक्साइटेड हो गए हैं उस अनाउंसमेंट के लिए जब आप बताएंगे कि कौन ये फिल्म कर रहा है, बट इसका इंतजार करेंगे हम. आई एम सो थैंकफुल टू यू कि आप हमारे ये एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी कैंपेन में आई और आपने यू नो हमारा साथ दिया. अनुश्री का वाई जो है वो थैंक गॉड इन्हें मिल गया है, और वो है जो क्लासिक फिल्में हैं वो एक बार फिर से पेश करना. शी इज कमिंग अप विद अ रीमेक ऑफ बावर्ची, मिली एंड कोशिश. और हमारा वाई जिंदगी का ये है कि हम आपकी इन फिल्मों को देखें और एंजॉय करें, एंड थैंकफुल रहें दैट यू नो यू एग्जिस्ट एंड वी हैव सच अमेजिंग फीमेल फिल्म मेकर्स इन आवर इंडस्ट्री. थैंक यू सो मच. You definitely are an extraordinary.
So are you. Thank you. Such an honor it is to be with you.
Lovely.
Radio Nasha.